Silent Night, Bloody Night is a 1972 Christmas cult slasher film and is one that I never really heard of until very recently. Of course, I'm very familiar with Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Silent Night, Bloody Night rings pretty familiar, especially being on the horror Christmas side of things. This is a very kind of B movie, very drive-in style. Certainly a cult film and a very, very violent slasher, if I must say so myself. Very haunting slasher. Just in its mood and the way it feels, it almost feels like it's shot on, shot on video, which it might totally be. I'm not exactly sure like what makes a shot on video other than it being shot on video, but like the style and the look of it. It just reminded me of something that would like, you know, you would see in a drive-in, but not really like the B movie style, more of like just the griminess and grittiness of the picture quality and stuff like that, and the way the film looks visually, kind of thing. Very, very good stuff, though. Definitely creepy. One of the creepiest Christmas films I've seen. They even have this really creepy score going on, which is basically Silent Night, the song Silent Night, done with this like violin, really haunting kind of funeral esque vibe to it. It's not depressing necessarily, but it's very haunting and very creepy. And the score just totally fits the picture quality of the film. It's very like it's dark feeling. It feels like a winter night when you're watching it. There is some snow settings here and there throughout the film, but regardless of like the snowy cold atmosphere, the film just makes you feel chilly and kind of uncomfortable throughout the entire thing. But what's going on here is there's this guy named Jeffrey Butler, and Jeffrey Butler just inherited this house in 1970 from his grandfather Wilfred Butler, who has passed and has a bit of a dark history. There's a lot of things that go on in this film, like historically, through flashbacks and through diary entries. There is actually a lot of narration in this film. Pretty much more than three-quarters of the film is just scenes going on with somebody narrating the story in the background, and I think that also is very fitting for the type of film that this is. But Jeffrey, when he inherits this house, he wants to sell it, so he hires this lawyer named John Carter to sell the home. And John Carter is basically seeing this woman named Ingrid, and he comes to this small town. He convinces the townsfolk to buy this house for 50 grand, which is a lot of money at the time. This is 1970, and and then him and Ingrid stay in this home for a night and are extremely violently murdered. Now, this murder is one of the most violent I've seen in a low budget 70s film for sure. It's really gruesome. They film it perfectly, and the gore effects and the blood effects are really, really well done in this scene. It's a very violent and bleak scene, to say the least. For anybody who's seen it knows exactly what I'm talking about. One of the best slasher murders you can get in like a cult 70s film like this. It's crazy. So after the murder of John Carter and Ingrid, Jeffrey is still trying to sell this home. He meets the mayor of the town's daughter named Diane Adams, and them two kind of start looking into the murder of this couple, this lawyer that was supposed to sell the home, and the murderer is completely unknown. It's an unknown person, so it plays out kind of like a whodunit. For a while throughout the film, you are or kind of assuming that the killer is Jeffrey himself, but other things come into play, and then I mentioned diary entries. There's a lot of like backstory to the 30s and the really early 50s involving really crazy stuff. Back in the day, this home was used as an insane asylum, and there's history with the patients and William Butler himself. and a lot of the townsfolk being inmates in this insane asylum, and just really dark history with it. There's dark history that goes right into incest and Jeffrey being a child of an incestual situation, so it gets pretty disgusting in that way. And for a Christmas movie, it's a really dark one. So this is definitely horrific. This is definitely bleak as hell, and it feels very cultish. The griminess and the grittiness of the cinematography is just brilliant. Like it really makes you feel cold. It really makes you feel uncomfortable, but in the best way. It just works. It's one of those films that definitely needs to be experienced. It feels like a grindhouse experience for sure. Not really on the B movie side, but in like the griminess, the grittiness, the dirty feel that you get, you know, with the music and the visuals combined. It's a really, really good watch, and it's a great cult film. Highly, strongly recommend Silent Night, Bloody Night. It really surprised me. You can feel it's low budget for sure. It almost feels like it's, excuse me, shot on video, with the picture quality and the cinematography, like I was talking about. But it totally adds to the charm of the movie, and it enhances the movie. Like usually it would downgrade the movie a lot, but in this situation it totally enhances the experience of Silent Night, Bloody Night. So I really liked that lower budget and that grimier kind of old movie style, you could say. Like it literally looks like a lot of projector screens and something that you would see in like a black and white film that would be colorized, or I think they called that like that brownish hues that they would do in a lot of old movies, Monoroll or something like that. Kind of had those vibes as well. But anyways, it's a great film. It's a great experience, and it definitely earns and deserves its cult status. So I do recommend Silent Night, Bloody Night if you can find it somewhere. And that's really all I got in it. So subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. Check out the ones on the channel. Squeezing in a few more Christmas reviews before the month is over, because it is still December, of course. But until next review, have a great night, take care, and cheers.